What is the best way to sell baby alligators? Well, I never sold baby alligators, but if I was going to, I guess I'd put on an alligator show where the alligator chews up a leg, maybe a thigh. Why not make it a combo? And we get our first sale of the day. This little girl buys an alligator and names it Ramon. Shortly after, the dad flushes Ramon down the toilet for unknown reasons. I've replayed this scene dozens of times. It's clear the dad's angry, but I cannot figure out why he flushes Ramon. So 12 years later, anytime you see these science guys in white lab coats, trouble is a brewing. One of my favorite things is when they try and give us a real life logical reason for this crazy idea to happen. For Alligator, there's a hormone experiment being run on puppies that are supplied by a pet shop owner. The puppies always die. They secretly get dumped in the sewer where Ramon eats them and grows to unhumanly levels, or unalligatorly levels, I guess. And that's the setup. Let's go over the facts, what I thought, and lastly, why my wife called it a glass movie. If you like Jaws, you're gonna like this movie. Actually, Jaws is just a shark. Alligator, on the other hand, has mutated, is giant-sized, and actually has a name. I don't think Jaws has a name, so Alligator may be a little cooler than Jaws. Alligator is directed by Lewis Teague. You might be familiar with some of his other works like Jewel of the Nile and two movies he adapted from Stephen King's works, Cat's Eye and Cujo. According to Lewis, he accepted the job to direct Alligator without even liking the script, but on the condition that he could bring in John Sayles, who he worked with before. Lewis says they started from scratch and rewrote the screenplay in a relatively short period of time. Once the film was done, Alligator was originally sold as a TV movie and almost never saw its theatrical light of day because the investors were happy with their profits. But the director pushed for a theatrical release. He set up his own screening, invited over some friends, and all the buzz it created finally got it to the silver screen. The movie was a box office hit, and we got an Alligator 2. Haven't seen it yet, but I'll definitely check that out. I do love how this movie starts. It starts us off right in the action and sets the tone for the whole movie, and the pacing is great. Whenever I thought it was getting a little slow, we'd get a kill. All I can say, this movie is pretty straightforward. Like, what you see is what you get. If you're here to watch an alligator attacking people, then you're in the right place. We get that little taste up front of what's to come, and then we get little bits and pieces spread throughout the entire film. The kills start small, but get bigger and better. You know, I like this movie so much, it's almost kind of crazy how simple the story is. There's lots of moving pieces in the beginning to set it up, but other than that, the execution is flawless. There aren't really any twists or turns. Nothing here is going to really blow you away, but this movie is really entertaining. The director really knows how to make a movie. One thing I wasn't sure about is how the special effects would hold up today, but let me tell you, they're great. They definitely stand the test of time, and actually, if you told me this movie was released last year, I wouldn't even think twice. Very well done for 1980. If you want to watch Alligator, I was able to stream it on YouTube, although it did cost me $3.99. And now, what my wife thought. Well, let me tell you first, my wife ain't tired of mainstream movies like we are. She's not looking for variety, but I drag her along anyway. So my wife said it was a glass movie. What's a glass movie? Well, back in the day when we used to go to the video store, when customers would return the new releases, the store would place them on a nearby glass counter instead of having to walk them back to the new release wall. So if you wanted a new release, you'd be sure to check out that glass counter first. But the store didn't only put the hottest new releases on that glass counter. They would sprinkle in some of the most terrible, worst, least rented movies to try and trick you. Needless to say, they tricked my wife many times, and that's how the term glass movie was coined. Anyways, I gotta go. If you can still hear me, I appreciate it. Bye.